I always have this empty feeling in my chest when something I love finally comes to an end. The void that is left when all the story has been told. I know I'm gonna have this feeling again, but I wanted to reflect on all the community and all the fun that I had during this series. Hello and welcome to yet another Jujutsu Kaisen video. I wanted to look at the ride that was Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not really talking about the story itself, but the community around it. I got most of my content from TikTok creators, so I just wanted to go through a few and thank them. First, I'd like to thank Starry for their continuous pushing for the love of Gojo and Geto. I had to instantly follow off that alone. I also love the circle theory that they came up with and seeing how the story unfolded very closely to what they were saying, and it was just so much fun to look into. Love the theories that they created and added to every single week. Next up, we have Gege's twin, Maisie. I followed their page solely on the joke that they were Gege Akutami, but the more I kept watching, the more fun and more in-depth analysis that I was watching about Buddhism within JJK. It was kind of scary how close they got in a lot of their theories, and this is where their joke came in that they were actually Gege in the first place. They had such good theories, and they really looked into the symbology of JJK and what is being shown in the series. Next, we have the JJK hype man himself, CJ, who I found to be such fun and such a hype man about everything that in JJK. The love that they had, the energy that they had is always on top of leak nights, which is so much fun. He has so much energy and always positive person that always defended against the everlasting JJK slander. I really hope I'm saying this correctly, but next up is the manga-imist. I'm usually not a big fan of long form content on TikTok, but in this case it was always fun to hear them explain me all the details that I may have missed on my first, second, or third read of JJK and just answer questions that fans have in general, going into much depth, and that is really fun, and always having them talking in the background while I was cooking or cleaning was very pleasant. Plus, the biggest draw to them was how warm and inviting their energy was, and it just feels like something that I want to strive for my channel as well. Finally, we have Pinoy Boy, who I follow because he just spams so much JJK content that I was always up to date with the newest Lobotomy Kaizen memes or anything JJK related. My biggest draw was also how he was debunking a lot of anime debaters. First off, I'm not a big fan of anime debates or power scaling because I think it just creates a very toxic environment, but Pinoy Boy had a little bit of a different approach, always respectful and kind unless the person was being disrespectful first. Also, his transparency with his life to his followers was a huge plus for me as a viewer. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of these creators. Thank you for showing me one of my favorite series so much love. Thank you for saving us from Lobotomy Kaizen week after week. Thank you most of all for being a fun pillar in my experience in the JJK community. I do want to thank the community as a whole. It was so amazing to see so much fan art. I mean, it's insane how a chapter will leak and people already have art to post on the Twitter in a blink of an eye. I follow the Jess Code on Twitter and they have such amazing artwork for JJK, and they also allowed me to use one for my Maki video, which is still one of my favorite pieces by them. The community was so much fun when they were completely losing their mind during Lobotomy Kaizen. All the fun edits of Nah I Win, like some of those are so well done and almost every single one of them made me laugh. Also, some of them weren't even JJK characters. Or what about everyone just editing domain expansion into other panels? Like, I love the creativity and simplicity that we have done in such a short amount of time. If it wasn't for the community between all these break weeks, I don't know what I would have done to fill in the void. Thank you for bringing me so much laugh and joy during those break weeks. Next is about the community as a whole and the hype for the one particular part. Like at the beginning of Gojo vs Sukuna, if you weren't there, it was insane. I still don't think I've been a part of a manga community that had such a wild fight and such a unity of people coming in and viewing the fight. I know people think that there are more hype fights, and yes, there probably is, but I love seeing all these people come in and watch this fight unfold. Like, I felt like I couldn't escape this fight. It was everywhere. I guess while I'm on the topic of this, I want to thank Maramura for being the GOAT of leaks. I know people have their issue with leaks, but I know I read the chapter 3 times, one at leak night, one fan translation, and one of the official release, so I'll just leave it at that. I also really enjoyed fan animations that were happening during this time and how we gave Hikari's domain expansion a song, but my favorite thing for the animation fight is how we united to give Gojo vs Sukuna the theme song of Judas by Lady Gaga. My god, the edits for these were so hyped. It was just a must watch all the way around, not to mention when the community was using Usher's Daddy's Home for every single Gojo edit. My god, the community is so creative and funny. Just always a good time seeing what the community can make and create, and also elevate it from there. Finally, I like to thank Gege for making such an amazing manga. I fell in love with the character, the story, and the fighting. I also really enjoy Gege's artwork. Even though most people like to compare it to other manga, I feel like it has so much personality and a unique style to it. Without Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't think I would have started YouTube up again. It might not show it, but I've been on YouTube for almost 12 years, and it's just been a hobby. But I felt like when I saw JJK, I wanted to be a part of that community. Even though I am super small, I wanted to add a little piece to this huge pile that is the JJK community. I hope that I can still keep talking about this even after the series concludes. And thank you to you, fellow viewer, for making it to the end of this video. Please let me know what you enjoyed about the wild ride that was JJK, the community, the fan animation, or the discussions we were able to have. Thank you once again to everyone in the community. I have been your bestest bro, and I'll see ya when I see ya.